Hello and welcome to Vision Academy. In this video, we are going to learn about friend functions. We know that the class consisting of three types of members: private, public, and protected members. In order to access private and protected members outside the class definition by the non-member functions, then it is not possible directly. Yes, it is possible with the friend functions. So friend function is a special function which is used to have the direct access to both private and protected members of the class outside of the class definition. Now, let us continue with the syntax of a friend function. Here I'm going to write class is a keyword and class name is any valid identifier name. Then in a curly open brace, I'm going to write here public access specifier colon. Then I'm going to write a friend function with the keyword called friend. So friend, I'm going to write a return type void, and here I'm going to write function name. It may consisting of arguments or may not consisting of argument. Then curly closing brace and put semicolon. Now let us check out the characteristics of friend function first, and then we'll go for one programming example. Now let us continue with characteristics. All right, characteristics of friend function. The first characteristics of a friend function is a friend function although not a member function has full access right to the private and the protected members of the class. Here, friend function, it is a non-member function, but it has got full access right to private and protected members of the class. That is the meaning of first characteristics. The second characteristics is a friend function cannot be called. A friend function cannot be called using the object of that class. The third point is the friend function can be declared anywhere in the class definition, and it is not going to be affected by any of the access specifier. I'm going to write the friend function can be declared anywhere in the class definition. It is not affected by the access specifiers. Access specifiers, private, public, or protected. Yes. The next fourth characteristics is they are normal external functions and they have got the special access privileges. So here I'm going to write they are normal external functions with special access privileges. Next, the fifth characteristics is it cannot access the member variables directly, and it has to use object name dot member name. So I'll write it cannot access the member variables directly and has to use object name dot member name. Now we're going to go for the last point. The function is declared with the keyword friend, but while defining, it should not be keyword should not be used. Uh, Even if it is defining outside the class definition, in that situation, we should not use any scope resolution operator. Okay, the function declared, the function is declared with the keyword friend, but while defining friend function, it does not use either keyword friend or scope resolution operator. So scope resolution operator is used to define a function outside the class definition, right? Yes. So these are the six characteristics of friend function. Now we are going to implement each one of these in the forthcoming program. Now let us have a look at the program. Here I'm going to write in a single line comment, write a program to sum two numbers using friend function. Let us begin with the preprocessor directives. Right, hash include in the angular brace. I'm going to write iostream.h header file. Next preprocessor directive is hash include in the angular brace. I'm going to write console input output.h header file. Now I'm going to define a class with a keyword called class, and now I'm going to write class name as friends. Here friends is not a keyword, friend is a keyword, so keyword should not be used as an identifier name, so hence I have written as friends. Okay, next curly open brace, and here in a private section I am going to declare two variables, int a comma b and semicolon. In a public section I am going to define one user defined function, public colon void get data, curly open brace. Here I'm going to ask the user to enter two numbers using cout stream insertion operator in a double quotation mark, enter two numbers, backward slash n, end the double quotation mark and put semicolon. And using cin statement, we are going to receive two values, a and b. Curly closing brace indicates this is the termination point of this user defined function get data. Now we are going to declare a friend function with the keyword called friend. I'm going to write here friend. So this declaration can be made anywhere. So either in a public section or in a private section or in a protected section. So as it is not going to be affected by any access specifier, which we have learned just now in the characteristics of friend function. So friend, return type of the function is int, name of the function is sum, and here inside the round bracket I am going to write the data type as friends. So class is what? User defined data types friends, and I'm going to create object of this type and put semicolon. It is called a friend function declaration. Now I'm going to put closing brace for this class definition and put semicolon. Now I have to define this function with the instructions, right? So I should not use here friend keyword as per one of the characteristics of friend function. Now I have to write the return type int as it is, next sum, and inside of the round bracket I have to write the data type, that is friends. OB is argument. Here we should not put any semicolon because it is a function definition. Curly open brace, and now I'm going to write return because it is going to return integer type of data. Return, and I'm going to use this object dot the member of the class is A. I want to perform sum, right? So I'll write plus ob dot b and put semicolon curly closing brace. Now it's time to create object, correct? So in order to create object we must write void main function. So always execution of C++ program starts from main function only. So main function is compulsorily required. So here what is the name of the class? That is friends. I'm going to write here friends, and object is f. You can write any valid identifier name over here. Next, I'm going to write CLR SCR function, which is used to clear the screen. Now, I'm going to call get data function using this object. I'll use f dot get data. So whenever we call this particular function, it will ask the user to enter two numbers, and user is going to enter two numbers. Then we are going to call this friend function. Okay, so how to call it without creating its object, correct? So just now we have seen a friend function cannot be called using the object of that class. So we are going to call that function but without creating its object. So how to do it? We can write here cout statement, cout stream insertion operator. In a double quotation mark I'm going to write sum is equal to, in a double quotation mark I'm going to call this function name, that is sum. So sum, and I'm going to pass this argument. You can see here we have not created object f dot, and we are calling this particular function. So next I'm going to write here get ch function and then curly closing brace. Now let us execute this program. So once we compile and run this program, it is going to ask the user to enter two numbers, because always execution starts from main function only. So it is going to call first f dot get data. Control directly transfers to get data. It will ask the user to enter two numbers. Enter two numbers will be displayed. Let us suppose I'm going to enter 5 and 5. So this first 5 will be stored in variable A and the second 5 will be stored in a variable B. So once again control transfers back to main function cout sum of f. So control transfers to this function. So it is going to return A plus B, that is 5 plus 5. So it is going to return back to the main function. So it is going to print sum is equal to 5 plus 5, that is 10 will be displayed. So let us execute this program. Here you can see I have already written this program. To save your time, let us compile this program by pressing Alt F9. Here it is showing success, that indicates there is no syntax error. Let us execute this program by pressing Ctrl F9. Now you can see it is asking the user to enter two numbers. Now I'm going to enter 5 and then 5 and I'll press enter. Here you can see it is displaying sum is equal to 10.